What's going on, Dragon Ball Z fans? My name is UnrealEntGaming, and welcome to Dragon Ball New Age, a fan-made Dragon Ball manga created by the one and only Malik, everybody. Now, before I get into this, I just wanted to say that a lot of you guys that were recalling my previous review on Rigor versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that manga, that brief story that I did on Super Saiyan 5 Rigor versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was created by the same person that I am about to tell the untold chapter of Dragon Ball New Age. Now, before I begin, everybody, I just wanted to say, for those of you out there who don't already know Malik, Malik is the creator of Rigor. He's the creator of many characters and the creator of Dragon Ball New Age. So if you guys are Dragon Ball Z fans, please, in the spirit of Dragon Ball Z, in spirit of Dragon Ball New Age, go on ahead and check out his DeviantArt page. The links will be in the description below for his Facebook, for his DeviantArt and whatnot. The more we support Dragon Ball New Age, the more we will get, everybody. So without any further ado, let's begin with Dragon Ball New Age, the Dragon Ball Zero chapter. Now, this is the prologue, ladies and gentlemen. So pretty much, Malik goes into detail on explaining, how far in Dragon Ball New Age takes place. Now, Dragon Ball New Age takes place 3 years after Dragon Ball GT's end. Malik did change up some things, and just on a quick note, Dragon Ball New Age is an alternative timeline to Dragon Ball GT. Like I said, it does take place after GT, but it has an alternative source, new characters and whatnot. So it follows up from the original manga, but it does not include Toriyama's original manga characters such as Broly, Janemba, Harutogan, Tarble, so on and so forth. It's a heavily altered Dragon Ball GT universe, so to say, and it does follow up with Super 17 and the Shadow Dragons and whatnot. But like I said, everybody, shout outs to Mr. Malik, like I said, for creating this, because like I said, guys, this is an incredible manga. I've read many mangas before, such as Dragon Ball AF, Dragon Ball Multiverse, but this hits the nail on the head. So like I said, guys, we're going to begin with the prologue, which takes place 3 years after Dragon Ball GT, and let us begin with the actual story. Now, in the beginning of this manga, guys, we go on to learn that, after the threat of Baby, the world was pretty much at a standstill. Now, Dr. Gero, after a very long time of being kept hidden from the public, he was creating these androids, right? Trying to create the ultimate android. Now, this follows up to Dragon Ball GT, because Malik did change a lot of Dragon Ball GT's time frame, so to say. So the original story of Super 17 was the fact that Dr. Gero had created 2 clone Android 17s with an ultimate objective of hijacking the mind of the original Android 17, killing him, and then merging together and creating the ultimate android. So pretty much the final programming begins. Super 17 was born, but prior to that, the 2 clone 17s led Goku up in the Arclay Mountains, and they pretty much beat him down. They destroyed Son Goku before they were able to merge. Now, following up to that, Super Android 17 succeeded in destroying all of the Z Fighters and whatnot, just wreaking havoc all over the world until Android 18 stepped in, and then Goku finally ended the threat of Super 17, along with the Shadow Dragons. The Shadow Dragons came, the Shadow Dragons fell, and then the balls were inert. They cracked under the pressure, and so goes the story. Now, following up from the death of Omega Shenron, pretty much Shenron emerged, and Goku was already dying. Everybody was praying for Goku. I mean, he was just lying there in defeat. He pretty much giving his all against Omega Shenron. Now, Shenron asked Goku that he had one more wish to make by, his will. And Goku, instead of, wishing himself to come back to life, or rather, being healthy again, he wished to restore everything back to the way it was before Android 17. And pretty much, he didn't really care about his own life. He just cared about saving the planet and whatnot. So the wish was made. Everything was restored after the Shadow Dragons, and Goku ultimately just was left there, and he died. He died from his wounds, and he pretty much kept it like that. But he also granted Vegeta the title of Protector of Earth. Now, Vegeta did not know what to do. He was shocked. Once again, Krillin, after many years, has died of old age. So many characters are dying off right now. But Vegeta was granted the Protector of Earth. And after spending, countless months and years training inside of the Capsule Corp Endurance Center, Vegeta finally learned how to master his Super Saiyan 4 ability without having to use Xeno radiation and whatnot. So Vegeta has finally mastered Super Saiyan 4 naturally without using any blood swaves or any radiation. Now, roughly 2 years have passed since the battle with Omega Shenron, and Hercule was diagnosed with a very rare disease that has no known cure. So Hercule at this point is trying to open up a World Martial Arts tournament, trying to find someone who is willing to pretty much take the title of Grand World Champion, since he already knows that he's going to die very soon. I mean, he's opening up World Martial Arts schools for everybody. He's pretty much donating stuff to charity. Now, years have passed, and Pan has finally gotten older. She's flying around with Trunks. They're trying to get to Android 18's place, and Trunks is pretty much talking about how she's well-dressed and whatnot, and they're pretty much cracking jokes, talking smack about one another. There is a bad storm brewing, by the way, so, I mean, not paying any mind to it. They just continue on, you know, passing through the storm or whatnot. You know, Pan is really insisting that they fly over there, but Trunks is like, oh, no, you know, we're just going to use our little, you know, sky car, and we're just going to go on ahead. So, as the story goes on, what happens next is lightning strikes their car, right? So, as they're going down, plummeting to their doom, you know, Trunks is saying, you know, Pan, hang on, you know. So Pan is scared shitless, even though they are Saiyans, of course. Trunks is panicking because it is his mom's car, whatnot. It's his car ultimately. I mean, so by the time they land, Trunks is calling his mom. He's like, yeah, Mom, you know, lightning struck the car, but, you know, we're fine. You know, we're in this cave, whatever. We're trying to just, you know, manage through the storm and whatnot. So Pan's like, you know, I told you we should have just flown over there. I don't know what the hell your problem is. You know, we would have just saved a lot of time and whatnot. So Trunks is like, oh, no, let's just be formal and whatnot. So as the story goes on from there, they pretty much enter this cave, and Pan's really upset, you know. Trunks finds this cave, and, I mean, it is in the northern mountains, so he's just trying to figure out, like, you know, what's really going on and whatnot. So, they're walking through this cave, and, Pan is hearing this very raspy whispering noise. She doesn't know what's going on, but she's walking through, and she tells Trunks, like, whoa, you have to get over here right now. We discovered something crazy right now. Like, you have to be here. You have to come. So Trunks gets there, and, you know, Pan's like, whoa, check this place out. And it looks like a cavern. It looks like some sort of a ritual cavern. You know, Trunks is like, wow, I've never seen these tools before. I've never seen any of these things in my life. So Pan was just telling Trunks, I mean, these things could have been here for years, and she doesn't know what the heck is going on. She doesn't even know, she doesn't even know, like, where they are. Like, I mean, just the fact that this cave was located in the northern mountains was just baffling. So Pan was pretty much showing Trunks these maps or whatever, these ancient maps, and as they're walking around, you know, they're trying to discover, like, what the heck is going on. So out of the blue, Pan discovers these dark Dragon Balls. Now, Pan was shocked, Trunks was shocked, and he was like, well, you know, I'm not sure. I think, you know, they were made to look like this. Pan was just like, I think they're dirty or whatnot. They have the same color or whatnot, the same overall design, but they look different. And Pan is even insisting. She's like, hey, they look kind of different, you know, back when they were cracked and whatnot. And these Dragon Balls aren't cracked. Remember that. They haven't seen Dragon Balls since, you know, after Omega Shenron. So Pan is like, do you think they're dangerous or whatever? And Trunks is like, you know, I've never heard of black Dragon Balls before, so I wonder what they do or whatnot. Trunks is really insisting that they aren't Dragon Balls. And, you know, Pan is like, they have the same overall design. And then Pan, being the dumbass that she is, she's like, hey, you want to summon Shenron? And Trunks is like, well, not really sure. I mean, you want to do that because they didn't really come on the radar, and they're not really active, so do you really want to do this? And then Pan's like, well, I don't get it, you know, if they've been here all this time, how come the Dragon Radar never picked them up and whatnot? So, you know, Trunks is like, well, we were never warned about using these before, so don't do that. You know, you're going to blow our cover, and, you know, that's why we haven't used the Dragon Balls on Namek, so why are you going to insist on using these? And Pan is like, oh, come on, Trunks, stop being a freaking pussy, you know what I mean? Like, what are you, chicken? And then right there, Trunks is like, well, I'm not so sure that's a good idea. So then Pan is just like, I want to see this new dragon. And Trunks is scared. Trunks is like, don't do that. I mean, there's a reason why we didn't go back on Namek. Don't you dare. And then Pan's like, well, I don't think it would hurt just to use them once. I mean, blah, blah, blah. And then, I mean, just Trunks is like, yeah, but, you know, they're black Dragon Balls, and we don't know what they're capable of, so it would be best if we don't touch them. So Pan just drops this, like, item and whatnot, and Trunks is like, oh my god, if this destroys the cave, what will happen to us or whatnot. So then out of nowhere, the Dragon Balls become active, and then poof, they start to send off this, radioactive, like, electricity or whatnot. So Trunks is like, this place is coming down. We got to get the fuck out of here. He grabs Pan. They're zooming off. And then out of the blue, the Dragon Balls are starting to, be active more and more and more. And then bam, the Dragon Balls are hereby used. And then out comes the dragon. Trunks is like, fuck this. We made it. We finally made it out the cave. They make it out the cave, of course. But then when they look up in the sky, there's this enormous, dragon. And he looks nothing like Shenron. I mean, he looks like a freaking, like, he has many spikes on his head. He looks like Omega Shenron's, dragon form. So, the dragon looks at Trunks and Pan and he goes, reflect carefully upon your desires, you mortals who have awakened me for the first time ever. You must, heed my warning and whatnot. So, I shall grant any 3 of your, wishes and whatnot. So, Trunks is like, I have no idea. And, Pan's like, do you think he's friendly and whatnot? Trunks is like, shut up, we don't know. Like, why did you even summon him in the first place? Pan's like, he's enormous. He's way bigger than Shenron. And he's a lot scarier looking than Shenron, too. So this dragon dwarfs Shenron. So this dragon goes on to tell, Pan and Trunks, like, I possess, the capability of both dragons, but I am neither. My creator had a dark heart, but good and evil are just attractions that I am beyond, so I'm neither good or evil. So Trunks is like, well, I mean, tell us, are you an evil dragon? And then Pan's like, well, he's willing to grant 3 wishes, so I guess we should start now. The dragon's like, now, if you have any 3 wishes, I mean, what would they be? And then the dragon's like, oh, I know of these shadow dragons. I could never become such a foul creature. So this dragon already knew about the shadow dragons, and he could have became one, but he chose not to. So Pan's like, if you can grant any wish like that, what will happen with you? You know what I mean? Shenron 2 years ago, he pretty much told us about the Dragon Balls, created, 7 evil dragons, and then this dragon's like, well, I already knew that. And Pan's like, shit. Trunks is like, crap, what did you just say? And then, Pan's like, Shenron, bring me my grandpa Goku back. And then she looks down. She's really disappointed. And then, Trunks is like, no negative energy, no shadow dragons, this must be a catch or whatever. Because the dragon's telling them, hey, I'll grant your wishes and nothing bad will happen. Poof. Goku emerges. So the dragon's like, I granted your wish very easily. Goku's confused. Goku's like, what the fuck am I doing back here? It's just like, whoa. And then Trunks is like, holy shit, it's Goku, see, there you go. So Goku's like, how the hell am I alive? The old man told us we couldn't use the Namek Dragon Balls anymore, so what the hell's going on? Pan, Trunks, am I alive? Am I dead? Pan's like, oh my god, Grandpa. Trunks is like, fuck Goku, holy shit. So the dragon is just standing there. He's like, all right, what's your second wish? I have granted your first wish. So Goku's like kind of happy but shocked. He's like, I'm sure we won't hear the end of this from the old Kai, but it's quite of a long story, but what's done is done. So hoorah, I'm back. So Pan's like, please don't be mad, Grandpa. So we had to do this. We had no other choice. We summoned him by accident. So Goku's like, Shenron, right? All right. Now across the universe, there are 3 things called the Black Star Dragon Balls. So Goku already knows about these Dragon Balls, and they're all made out of stone at the moment. But there's another way to make them so they can return back to normal. And then Goku's like, I have an idea. And then he's thinking, and then Trunks is like, well, what can we do in order to like prevent these Dragon Balls from ever being used? Should we just tell the dragon we don't need the rest and whatnot? So Goku's like, a couple of years ago on Namek, a Namek named Piccolo died on Earth. So he pretty much went on to say ahead to say, if you were able to bring him back, bring me back to life, this next wish should be a clinch. Could you restore him back to life? So he's asking for Piccolo to come back to life. So Pan's like, why would Grandpa, wish for that? I don't get it, Trunks. So the dragon goes on to say, it is done. The Black Star Dragon Ball is now forever stone and can never be restored. So a most difficult request. The powers of the Black Star Dragon Balls have a vast and strange power, but I shall try. Now state your final wish. So Goku's like, holy shit, Piccolo comes back. Piccolo comes back, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? So the Black Star Dragon is like, it shall be done, and then Trunks is like, well, why didn't I think of that? So the final wish was to pretty much eradicate the Dragon Balls, and the dragon just goes on to say, well, I've granted your wishes, farewell. Piccolo's like, I'm alive? Like, is this really happening right now? The Dragon Balls just completely go up in the air, and then they vanish. So Trunks is like, holy shit, like, Piccolo, Goku, this is awesome. Like, everybody's back. This is great. And Piccolo's just standing there like, is this really happening right now? So now it's party time. So Trunks is telling Goku and Piccolo, hey, listen, the storm is moving in. We have to get out of here. And Goku's like, well, it's quite a story. I'll explain more. And Piccolo's like, you're alive as well? I mean, what the hell's going on? So as they're going back to 18's inauguration, you know, they're all enjoying their stories. You know, Goku's enjoying all of the food that he's missed. I mean, that's all he ever cared about was food. You know, they're celebrating a new champion that, you know, was crowned at the tournament. Trunks and Pan, you know, detail Goku on, you know, some of the things that were happening and whatnot. You know, Bala and Pan are just very happy that they're seeing their friend, their grandpa, their family member around. You know, Piccolo's just standing around being casual. 18, same thing. Gohan and Trunks are sharing stories from the past, you know, talking about reminiscing on things. But then there was a catch. As if Trunks knew exactly what was going on, he would realize that his fruition was right, and the terrible price for making the wishes have now began, and the Dragon Balls that they actually used were beginning to turn into stone. Now, far across the universe, almost a year later, there was a detection that read the enormous power coming from Earth. Now, there was a scientist, a very brilliant group of scientists that were creating and recreating the Saiyan Scouter. Now, it looks eerily similar to the Saiyan Scouter. It may not be, but that one Saiyan Scouter is able to read immense power levels. I mean, we're talking about this Scouter can read any kind of power level coming from any being ever. And it was reinforced, you know, its interior was reinforced, its hardware capability of reading such incredible high power level measurements were actually coming into play. Now, there was this woman standing there saying, is the Scouter ready? And the scientist said yes, and then pretty much they were reinforcing this Saiyan pod. Now, it looks like a Saiyan pod, it may not be, and the scientist was going on to saying that the power masks for the tech has allowed you to travel very stealthily, so there is no being out there that's able to detect your movements while in this pod. And then this scientist went on to reference someone's husband. He said, you and your husband's old pods were heavily damaged and you cannot use them. So now these new pods have the technology far beyond the old one tenfold to reverse engineer them and pretty much mask your power levels while in there and whatnot. So pretty much, you know, just telling them that, hey, you're undetectable and you can read power levels. So this woman is saying, you know, superb. Now, what about, you know, our pods? Now, the scientist went on to say he must absolutely not use his full strength after 1 hour, otherwise you know, his body will react negatively due to the shock of power coming out of his hypersleep. So he was pretty much warning this woman on, listen, if you're going to engage in battle, tell your husband not to use his full power, otherwise he is going to have a negative reaction. Now, his unit power is, you know, upper class A, so he was pretty much, you know, describing the pod and pretty much on its necessary use of travel or whatnot. Now, he pretty much gave her a fair warning about his hypersleep system. Now, he was pretty much telling her, listen, whatever happens, do not allow him to, you know, go into overdrive mode. So, you know, as anxious as he actually was, he actually offered to have one of the best armors and whatnot. So this mysterious person was ready for war. Now, this woman was asking, where's my husband anyway? You know, I'll bear in mind, did he go to lunch already or whatever? So she's getting in the pod and she's waiting, and then here comes this character, this mysterious character. He looks like Broly, but he's actually not. Now, he gets inside and he's like, we have 2 pods cleared for launch in 10 seconds. This is the commander, and pretty much we're ready for launch. So this mysterious character is grinning, he's smiling, and this woman is like, couldn't wait to get on our trip underway, huh, my love? You know, you're really looking forward to this, aren't you? And he's just smiling. And then as they're traveling through space, this mysterious character utters the words, Vegeta, I'm coming for you. So then as they're zipping through space, you know, 30 days later, you know, they're pretty much, he's exiting his hypersleep 30 days later. And, you know, 30 days later, upon exiting his hypersleep, you know, They finally arrive. Welcome to Earth. And then the story begins with Dragon Ball New Age. So once again, everybody, that was the ending of the Chapter 0. That was pretty much the opener. I'm telling you all right now, this is going to be good. So that was my review for Chapter 0 of Dragon Ball New Age, everybody. Thank you all for watching as usual. Big shout out and big credit to MALIK from DeviantArt, from Dragon Ball New Age, the creator. Like I said, guys, the link will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching, everybody. If you guys are Dragon Ball Z fans, Dragon Ball GT fans, if you guys are Dragon Ball New Age fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the latest Dragon Ball New Age news, information, updates, what-if battles, and tons of reviews, guys. If you guys enjoyed this episode, if you guys loved how this story was portrayed, don't forget to hit it up or like and a favorite. Also, like the video just because you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, guys. Comment in the comment section below on your thoughts on this story thus far. What did you guys think of it? Share your opinions down below because it's very important that you guys do so. It's what makes the community so special. So stay tuned for more because the next chapter will be reviewed. Like I said, guys, this is prior to the battle that I reviewed on Super Saiyan 5 Rigor versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So thank you all for watching, everybody. More is headed your way, so I hope you all enjoyed. Big thank you for MALIK for this. Like I said, guys, link in the description is below. So thank you all for watching, everybody. Long live Dragon Ball Z, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next episode. Take care, everyone. For Vegeta, peace!